Please, can we make welcome Mr. Joseph Ajuwon, who is going to tell us more about Afrelib and the program goal today. Please, let's make welcome Mr. Joseph Ajuwon. I have not told you enough about Afrelib. He is going to do a better job, I'm very sure.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Welcome to this event for today. Even though it's raining, even though when you're all here, so I'm really, really happy for that. My name is Joseph Ajuwon, and we founded Afrelib a few years ago, and it's now Afrelibacademy. And as that says there, it's really not about the company at all. It's much more about all of you who are here. And as that says, every child has a unique voice. We listen for it, and that is all we're about. But before I go into that, I know the time checking me, so very soon they will kick me off the stage. But before that, I just want to have a few words. That last story that we just saw, can anybody tell me from this table here a name of one of the characters, please? Which one was memorable to you from that story?
Emeka.
Why was it memorable? What did you remember about Emeka? And before you speak, I hear you. Go on. Loudly and boldly, full of confidence. Just one sentence that you can remember about Emeka. Or any of the other characters, it doesn't matter.
Sir, I remember when he was not doing well. He had to talk and take of himself and thought of himself. What he can do again to rise up in the field like that.
Thank you. Let's appreciate that, please. Anybody else? Any other character from here? Something that you memorable that you can remember, please.
Gideon.
Okay.
He was memorable because he was actually the only person that saved and was content with what he had, and later on in the end he was the most successful.
Fantastic. Please, hand for her, please. Anybody else? Anybody else memorable that you can remember? Okay, that's fine. Now, all of those 5 people there, none of them, as it says, did anything wrong. But they all made choices. And we all have choices to make about our life and what we want to do with it. And because we're all created uniquely and different, we can't look at anybody else and try and copy them. We have to listen to our individual voice as to who we are, our gifts and our talents. And that's what we use to maximize our potential. So you can't look at anybody else on social media or anybody else around in your school to try and copy what they are doing. It's about you understanding who you are, who you've been created to be, your unique gifts and talents, and to now channel that in the best possible way. Now, you can't do that by yourselves. That's why we go to school. That's why we have parents. That's why we have society and government to help channel us properly. Now, part of what we're trying to do within the academy is to say that we know that there's schools there, there are parents there, and government is there. But everyone has to play their role. Part of what we try and do is to try and say that we know that in this 21st century, let me pause there for a second again. What inventions do we think has happened in the last century that has made a change to people, to lives and society? Anybody, please? What's inventions? Just any invention that you can say has made a change to our lives, improved our lives. Thank you very much, head girl.
Electricity.
Thank you very much. Electricity. Round of applause, please. When we have it, it is great. Now, when we don't have it, we do things to try and improve to get it. Now, electricity is for our benefits, for that of our neighbors, our community, and our nation. So that's what. Anything else, please? Thank you.
Cell phones. Cell phones.
Cell phones, fantastic. On that one, let me just a round of applause, please. Please, which school is this? Okay, so cell phones. Now, on the one of cell phones, one more.
Internet. Internet.
Internet, fantastic. Let me take those two together, both cell phone and internet. What is the greatest innovation that has happened between the internet and the cell phone in the last 20 years maybe? Not even that long. Before, we had all kinds of cell phones that didn't do much, just a few buttons. Some of us will remember it. The Nokias, the Alcatels, this one. Where we would have to press the button, we would have to wait. And then at some point, something happened. Most of you here probably would not remember. You're being too young. You're all very much, you're even, I can't say you're millennials. You're the real 21st century people of the future. Before you all got to know, understand cell phones, we have these manual buttons that we will press. And you will wait and they go, shh, before the connection would happen. And then somebody thought, this should not be the same way it should be. And so they combined the internet, which is about the movement of things from where before it was through cars, it was through trucks, it was through moving things from place to place. To get food, you have to get a truck, put the food onto the truck, drive it from one place to another. That's about the movement of physical items. At some point, it became the movement of atoms. That is the internet. Ions, electrons. So a lot of information, that's what we go to the information age. So we now go from the age of movement of trucks, of roads, of haulage, to the movement of electrons and atoms. It's a whole different world. That's how the internet came about. It's now things moving in the air that we don't even see. But we know they happen because information is landing. Someone now took that, they now created, there was already a phone that existed that we used. And they now thought, can we make this better? So they now combined what the phone was doing, just making phone calls. They looked at the internet, moving electrons from place to place. We already had maps that could help us route from place to place. We already had diaries to record address books. So someone now thought, let me combine all of that. And that is innovation, that is creativity. The only way they could do that was by looking around the environment, looking at what's possible, and looking at how to improve things for themselves first, because if you don't see it as something I want to do and improve for myself, I can't do it for anybody else. So I want to make a phone call, but why do I not to put my phone down to get my sat nav? Why do I need to put that down to get my diary? Why can't I make them all into one device? And so that's how the cell phone became a much more useful device that now combines the sat nav for driving, the diary for address books, making phone calls, and a whole number of things. So that innovation that has also radically changed the world came through one person thinking beyond everybody else around them at the time. And so really the effect, when I go back to my story about these individuals, it's about knowing that uniquely within each one of you is a talent and a gift. That when you focus on improving things for yourself, for your community, for your nation, things begin to happen. And through that comes success. So when you see Gideon there, who is the tech guy, it's because he's looked around himself. He's got a job, but he's also doing a little thing on the side. But all the same, what he's doing is looking for improvements. And so part of what we do is basically to serve you, to look for opportunities whereby you can make improvements. So, in rounding up, Afrelibacademy is all about finding ways and opportunities that we can help support all of you as students and learners to get access to the latest technology and tools and resources that the 21st century has to offer, and to support all of the teachers and the schools to make sure that they can also uniquely identify all your unique talents so that we can maximize them. So, going back to my summary, basically is part of the reason why we're here today is to just showcase a little bit of what we do, how we do it, and more importantly, why we do it, is to help every child identify that unique voice so that we can listen for it and help him maximize and channel the opportunities. So, when we look at that story again, those 5 individuals, who has an idea now which one they would like to be more like? Anybody else who wants to? Is it Natasha? Is it Emeka? Is it Gideon? Is it Ada? Or is it, what's the 5th person? Mohammed. Thank you very much. Anybody know now who they would like to see as a role model? Do we have role models, by the way? Do we have role models? We do. Can you name? You're not too sure to name a role model. Go on. Yes. Anybody, anyone, please. Role model.
Could it be from anywhere? Not necessarily.
Anywhere. Mr. Miller, please, how much for time before I get
Ben
Castle. Who knows Ben Castle on this side? Please, Ben Castle. Oh, excellent. See, they just arrived. 1 second, they just arrived. I must give them Ben Castle.
Doctor.
He's a doctor. Is she right? Fantastic. How do you know Ben? She saw him on television. What's your name? Mariam. Well done, Mariam. She just arrived and connected straight away, answered the question. Please, round of applause, please. So that's a role model. Because we've seen what is done, we can see that that's someone that we can try and emulate, but not necessarily copy. Just to see what steps they took in their own life. Because life is not just a straight sailing road, ups and downs, but as long as you're persistent, relentless, consistent, and you have society around to help and support you, the sky is the limit. Anybody else want to share anything before I leave? Thank you, man.